Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite NHL DFS plays for this Thursday, October 26th slate. Like I always do, I'll kick it off with a couple of my favorite line stacks. We'll then dive into some of my favorite individual plays, and then wrap it up with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And we got 11 games on this slate tonight. Let's go through those here quickly. First one we got is the Avalanche taking on the Penguins, Ducks at Bruins, Sharks at Lightning, Kraken at Hurricanes, and the Jets at the Red Wings, where I was a little surprised to see the Jets favored there. We then got the Blue Jackets taking on the Canadiens, Wild taking on the Flyers, Senators at Islanders, Maple Leafs and Stars, Rangers at Oilers, and then wrapping it up there with the Blues at the Calgary Flames. And here's a quick little schedule update to wrap up this week. As most of you know, I focus on the NHL content side of things Monday through Thursday, but unfortunately we just had 1-game slates on Monday and Wednesday this week, so no videos for that. And then on the weekends I put out that NFL content. We got my cash plays video coming out tomorrow, and my GPP plays coming out on Saturday. Alright, with all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. First, starting with that first line for the Boston Bruins, we got Matthew Poitras centering Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak. Now, we actually saw Poitras, the rookie center, get bumped up to that first line last game with Marchand and Pastrnak. I'm hoping that sticks for the long run, because the rookie has been legitimate here through 6 games, already scored 3 goals, and we know that Marchand and Pastrnak are probably going to find the score sheet more nights than not. They themselves have put up 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points through 6 games. You're going to see Marchand and Pastrnak play up on the number 1 power play. Poitras plays down on the number 2 power play. And if Poitras doesn't center these guys tonight, I like this line a little bit less, and I'd probably pivot to that first line for the Colorado Avalanche, who was high on my radar too. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that first line for the Philadelphia Flyers. We got Sean Couturier centering Cam Atkinson and Owen Tippett. A very cheap line stack to say the least. You can see the average remaining salary per player here. Good matchup as well against the Minnesota Wild, who have not been good defensively to start the season, allowing 4.17 goals per game. That's the 3rd most in the NHL. And while these 3 haven't put up massive numbers, they're still getting on the score sheet most nights, having combined for 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points through 6 games. Now you're going to see Atkinson and Couturier play up on the number 1 power play, and then Tippett plays down on the 2nd. But Tippett in general, I like him at this price because he loves to shoot the puck, and he's a natural goal scorer. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get Slydog Sports here to 4,000 subs, and every like, comment, and sub on this channel truly does go a long way through the YouTube algorithm, so help us out if you can. We're working on some new channels here in the background at Slydog Sports as well, so stay tuned for that. Now let's hop into these forward plays. The first forward I got on my list here for tonight is Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and really just like the Lightning in general here tonight in this matchup at home against the San Jose Sharks. Cooch himself has been good through 7 games, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. He's also 5th in the NHL in shot attempts and 7th in the NHL in shots on goal. Ripping the puck, you love to see that. Plays up on the first line, plays on the number 1 power play, and like I said, just a great matchup here against San Jose, who've allowed 3.67 goals per game to start the season, the 6th most in the NHL. Another forward who's been on an absolute tear to start this season is Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings. He's priced at $7,400 here tonight in a matchup at home against the Winnipeg Jets. Really, that entire first line of him, Alex DeBrincat, and Lucas Raymond have played very well together. Some true chemistry between those 3. You can see Larkin's put up 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points through 7 games, averaging 2 points per game to start the season. Not sustainable, but you love to see him getting off to a great start. He's also 6th in the NHL in shots on goal with 30, and 20th in the NHL in expected goals. He himself plays up on that first line in number 1 power play and logs big minutes most nights, and he's got a solid matchup here against Winnipeg, who has not looked great defensively themselves, allowing 3.83 goals per game this season, the 4th most in the NHL. The next guy I got on my list here then is Mika Zibanejad of the New York Rangers, priced at $6,500 here tonight in a matchup on the road against the Edmonton Oilers. He's got 5 assists through 6 games so far, nothing really to brag about, but I do expect the goals to be coming sooner than later. He's 2nd on this team in expected goals, shot shot attempts and shots on goal, and he's naturally got a good shot himself, playing on that first line in number 1 power play against an Oilers team whose goaltenders have not been good to start the season, missing their best player in Connor McDavid, and just gave up 7 goals to the Minnesota Wild the other night. Now, when I was going through the line stacks earlier, I mentioned that I liked that first line for the Colorado Avalanche tonight as well. You'll get Nathan MacKinnon centering Valeri Nichushkin, and the guy I'm highlighting right now in Arturi Lehkonen, who's priced at $5,800. I wanted to highlight him because I love the opportunity he's getting on that first line with MacKinnon and on the Avs' number 1 power play, which is basically scored at a 29% rate so far this year. On top of that, he's got 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points through 6 games, and he's also second on this Avalanche team in expected goals and shots on goal. So not only has he been given a lot of opportunity to start the season, but he's been making the most of that as well. And then dipping into the 4K range here again with forwards, highlighted 3 of them earlier, but wanted to give you one more here. And honestly, I could have highlighted Teuvo Teravainen at $4,100 for the Hurricanes as well, but ultimately went with Jesperi Kotkaniemi here at $4,300, who's arguably been off to the hottest start of his NHL career. He's put up 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in 7 games so far, playing on that second line in number 2 power play, and I like the guys he's centering on that second line as well, and Michael Bunting and Martin Necas. Definitely got some talented wingers there, and this Kraken team certainly hasn't been great to start the season, allowing 3.43 goals per game, the 11th most in the NHL. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, and one guy I would be willing to spend a little bit of extra money on here tonight is Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning. We can stack him up with Kucherov, mix in a Braden Point if we wanted to, get exposure to that first line and number 1 power play. Again, in a great matchup here at home against the San Jose Sharks. Hedman's been off to a good start so far this year, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points in 7 games, playing around 24 plus minutes per night, and in all situations, again, he's up on that number 1 power play, plays on the penalty kill too, and he's second on this team in shot attempts and shots on goal. Really like to see that, especially with him being on that number 1 power play. Now, one guy I will be going back to here tonight is Noah Dobson of the New York Islanders. He did get a slight price bump up from $5,300 on Tuesday to $5,600 here tonight, but I'm still willing to play him at this price. He truly has been great to start the season. Not only has he been putting up points, he's got 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 5 games, but he's really racking up Draftkings points in a number of different ways. Also got 19 blocked shots through 5 games as well, while playing about 24 minutes per night. He's playing up on his team's number 1 power play, and you can see here he's hit 15.6, 22.9, 23.7, and 21 Draftkings points in his last 4 games. I then got Travis Sanheim here of the Philadelphia Flyers sitting at $4,000 tonight. A nice value play in a good matchup at home against the Minnesota Wild. Sanheim has looked awesome so far to start this season, logging big minutes for the Flyers, around 25 plus minutes per night. He's got 5 assists through 6 games, while averaging about 11.5 Draftkings points per game. Not bad at all for a guy priced here in the low 4K range. He's playing up on his team's number 1 power play, plays on the penalty kill as well, and easy to stack up with that first line that I highlighted from Philadelphia earlier. And then I'm wrapping up the defenseman here with Brady Shea of the Carolina Hurricanes, who is priced at $2,900 here tonight, and I have no idea why. He's been basically priced in the low 4K range all season long, and sure, he hasn't put up massive Draftkings points here over the last couple of games, but this is definitely someone who can crush value at this price. He's got 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points through 7 games, averaging close to 10 Draftkings points per game, and while he doesn't play on any one of the power plays, he does log around 20 minutes per night and plays big minutes on the penalty kill. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you guys. Now, if I'm willing to spend up here tonight, I do like Linus Ullmark, but I also want to name drop Jake Ottinger and Ilya Sorokin. Both those guys are definitely on my radar, but we have to talk about Ullmark, and honestly, if it was Jeremy Swayman playing for the Bruins tonight, we could talk about him as well. Both goaltenders have been lights out to start the season. Ullmark is so far undefeated at 3-0-0, allowing just 1 goal in each game. He was the best goalie in the NHL all of last year, won the Vezina, and he's already got 7.78 goals save above expected. That's through 3 games, and that's the 6th best already. So yes, he's the most expensive goalie here tonight, but rightfully so, because he's been great once again so far this season. And then if I'm looking to spend down at the goalie position here tonight, I'm going to highlight Carter Hart of the Philadelphia Flyers, but I also want to name drop Tristan Jarry of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Jordan Binnington of the St. Louis Blues. Tournament only plays for me, but they're in matchups where they could see a lot of shots. If they happen to get the win, they could be a goalie that gets you 20 plus Draftkings points here tonight. But again, I'm going to highlight Carter Hart here of the Philadelphia Flyers, priced at $7,400 tonight against Minnesota. He's 3-2-0 to start the season, but I do like his numbers with a save percentage of .923 and a goals allowed average of 2.21, averaging about 16 DraftKings points per game. And the Wild are averaging just 2.11 expected goals per 60 minutes. That's the 5th fewest in the NHL. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got on my list here is Ryan Johansson of the Colorado Avalanche, currently centering that second line and playing up on the #1 power play. And after being held off the score sheet in his first 3 games, he's now put up 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points in his last 3 games. He's also 4th in the NHL in expected goals with 4.9, really making the most of playing with this Avalanche team, especially on that power play. So at $3,600 tonight, yeah, I'll definitely go to him. Another guy who's been making the most of his role for the Tampa Bay Lightning is Nick Paul, who's priced at $3,500 here tonight. Currently playing on that second line right now with Steven Stamkos, but playing up on the #1 power play, which has led to him putting up 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points through 7 games this year, while averaging 10 DraftKings points per game, and someone who's got 20-plus DraftKings point upside. And again, I love the matchup at home tonight for the Lightning in general against that Sharks team. And then I'm willing to go back to Wyatt Johnston here at $3,400, a guy who plays on that second line in #2 power play for the Dallas Stars. He's been good here, especially in his last 2 games, where he's put up 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. He had 13 DraftKings points in his last game, 32 DraftKings points in the game before that. Shows you the upside that that type of player has, which is obviously great considering the price. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 11-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.